Hey there, we're in the vehicle assembly building this time, just a short one tonight. Our goal is to get our science outpost thingy to the moon, which hopefully won't take, I think. I'll have maybe 2 hours to pull this off. Let's waste some time with a little aesthetics. Some stuff I was brainstorming during the countdown. Let's go with that, and then so now we have a docking port on it. And then it's already a little stout. I think this is stouter than our last lander, but to make it even more stout, let's give it some optional landing struts, which we may or may not end up using. Hey, Justin. Well, I almost never stream on Saturday, so I can see why you might miss the alert. Yeah, so it doesn't give us much extra clearance, but it's very wide now, which is what I like. So it should be a lot harder to tip over. No RCS, which is a little concerning, so let's... Actually, what kind of torque does this thing have? It's a Mark II. 15, which is as much as a command pod, and this thing's pretty tiny, so this should have very good control. But let's grab this. We'll definitely want some we'll want the ability to control our ship. Now technically the light is in the way, but I think a thruster doesn't do anything. Big Goldberg. KSP is apparently on sale on Steam, and it's free to play. Oh, well. Now it looks like I am secretly a Kerbal Space Program marketer. Hey, Ray. Now where the hell am I going to put the RCS fuel for this thing? I could actually do something like this. We still have clearance. That's a laughable amount of RCS, though. It's a lot of monopropellant. Turn off the snap there. It's a little too much, if we're being honest with each other. How much? I guess those actually don't hold very much. Yeah, normally when a game's on sale on Steam, it's not on sale on console at the same time. $40 on console. Is it just PS4 or is it on Xbox too? I have high hopes for this, though. I have high hopes for the landing legs and the stoutness. Start retracted. Let's just put some... I mean, we could do this, but then our fucking lander's huge, which we want to avoid. There are other RCS tanks. But I don't have them unlocked because we've kind of been skimming over those ones. There, that's pretty manageable. Looks a little stylish. And then that's 80 monopropellant, which is exactly what the other lander went down with. So this is pretty good in the hood, I think. And then remember, we've got the science suite safely secured. Love those doors. That's a great module they added. It's got the lights. I tested this at a nighttime landing on just the launch pad, and this offers a lot of light, so that'll help our landing on the moon. Alright, so that's our science outpost thingy. Now let's look at a McDonald. I'm going to add this to the sub-assemblies because it's not actually the core of the ship, it's just the lander. Oh, we have a McDonald launcher right here. Never mind. It's a little too close to the ground. There we go. I didn't put in the sub-assembly drop zone. Okay. Oh, save. I think I just lost all my progress there. I did. Not a problem. Okay. Just gonna remove the ladders because we shouldn't need them on the moon. They're clipping through shit. Something like Mars or Eve, we'd probably want the ladder. Okay. And the little lander legs, which probably, hopefully we use, but there might be a mishap like last night. I mean, if we really wanted, we could do that, which gives us even more clearance, but I think that might be unnecessary. But I do like it. I kind of like how they stick off the side. I think these won't heat up, but we might have to check that. Oh, never mind. These won't heat up because we'll be in space, and I think things generate less heat when they're in space because it's already so cold. Is this for a contract? This is just for science points. This is just to see if we can get to the moon with all this stuff. Alright, so science outpost thingy is done. Let's drag that McDonald launcher in. So this lander has 1380 delta V, and according to our map, it's 580 and 580. So we have a little bit for a rendezvous. Like 200, I'd say, to rendezvous, which I hope is enough for the moon. Might not be. But we could do a rescue if we fuck these guys over. Okay, and then I'll also bring in a Fleming launcher for the Terrier aspect of it. Nope, sorry, we've just been putting them the lower stages. Good thrust to weight, a lot of delta V on this first one. But of course we still need the heart of the ship. Which is the Mark 1-3 command pod. That's what we're bringing back home. Look at that fella. I think I want to do a stack separator here, actually. Not a decoupler. There we go. But no, that won't work because this is the Terrier part. Okay. Never mind. It'll just be a really weird attachment point. We'll probably just do like last time. Attach it with the docking ports. Look at this guy. Where's his ablator? I thought command pods bring a... Oh, yeah, this does not look like it has an ablator mounted to it. Not a problem. Actually, it might be a problem. I don't know if we have a heat shield this big. Uh-oh. Oh, this thing might cook up. I might want to do a test run with this kid. Send him up to orbit and bring him back down, see if it burns up. And then we'll go with 2 radials. Because it's heavy. It's a fucking heavy pod. Alright, don't do that. Alright, we just don't want it clipping through any windows. Is that random fire extinguisher noise on the music? I'm not sure. There's definitely like a loud humming. Okay. Decouplers are nice and cheap at least. They're fucking huge though. Okay. Then we need a Terrier stage. I almost want to do something like that. Oh, we did have a tiny RCS tank. Son of a bitch. We had an even tinier RC. God damn it! I did buy little ones. Oh well, I like the radial spheres. That's nice looking. This generates 400, 1700 in a vacuum, which is not enough. 8 and 3, and then, yeah, actually, this might be enough. If we're trying to keep things economical, this might be enough. But I'm feeling a little bit concerned for the safety of these people, so we'll give them a little bit more. How is that orange? Look at that. It says gray and orange. Oh. Alright, that's 1900 delta V, which is a lot. Should be able to just put a decoupler on that now. Another 25er. Little baby shroud, which I always hate. Okay. This is where we control from. I forget how to do it though. Oh, we set the route. Reroute. There's your route. Okay. Delta V has something to do. Oh man, I forget what delta V exactly is. It's like your thrust and your mass, and it's the value you use to calculate how far you can go. There's a lot of scientician math involved, but it's the number we're mostly concerned about once we can get off the ground. This thing's gonna cost me $89,000 and almost none of it's coming back, so hopefully we get a lot of science out of this. We're gonna have to be very picky with where we land because we've already been to the Midlands and the Lowlands on the moon, and oof, that reminds me. Thanks for reminding me. I think we have something that can scan terrain. Or we were considering buying something that can scan terrain, because I think we can get like a heat map while we're in orbit, and that'll help us decide where to land. I didn't pack a Science Junior, and honestly, I don't know if I want to pack a Science Junior. It's just more weight. I mean, it'll give us a lot of science, but it's going to be fucking heavy. Not heavy, it's unwieldy. reset them all. No, I don't have something that can scan terrain biomes for us right now. Which is a shame, but I think I do want to attach a Communitron dish to this. Let's try the hydraulics. Even though we don't really need it, I thought it was cool. That's where the fuck I'm gonna put it though. So that should be our satellite dish. There we go. Retract. Oh, I don't have solar panels on this thing right now, do I? Alright, let's make sure we are extending it. No, probably the other way. The hell? Yeah, so that should get us up to space. And hopefully we can customize this while we're in space, because I've never actually used a robotic part before. Okay, so that's the communications. Now we just need some solar power. Burp. That'll also generate solar power for our flight, which I like. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. Retract these kids. Alright, we got power, science, communications, maneuvering thrusters. We've got the landing legs. And then we've got the actual ship, which can probably get us there, and then we'll probably put a fairing around this thing. Okay. See, these are 829 in vacuum right now, but that's because of the calculations all fucked up because of the mass. All right, I think we just need a fairing here. Why can't I place this here? Are you clipping through yourself? Yeah, I think you're clipping through yourself. Try to keep it a shallow angle. The fairing's actually going to be a little heavy, I think. Oh yeah, it's going to be a 1-ton fairing. Uh-oh. Oh boy. This might not be best practice for fairing design. I think it's fucking heavy. Might have actually lost a lot of thrust on that. I have 6,000 Delta V still, which is I think what the McDonald had, so... I almost wonder if you're better off to use an entirely larger fairing size and just most of it's hollow instead of this like bulbous fairing I always do. I'm not sure. Our Australian co-pilot's probably asleep right now. 1.83. Probably very safely lower that down. Oh yeah, this already had a thrust limiter on. Oops, sea level, close one. 1.7, yeah, let's keep it at that. Let's lower it to like 1.6 for a little extra thrust. You know that I want 80, stop that. There. Alright, 1.6 thrust for 2 minutes, which will mostly get us into orbit, and then we switch over to this kid. 1920, which is enough to get us there and back. And this is also lowered because the lander weighs too much. So if we decouple him, now we have 4,000 in a vacuum. So we'll have a lot of Delta V on the way back. He's helped us so much, though. I think we can do a moon mission solo. Alright, who do I want flying this? I want Jeb. We have to go rescue Valentina with Juiki. So that would be... We'd send up David Towie and then they'd switch places. But we're going to bring Bob and I'm going to bring Bill. We can't fill up the lander can because that's like an intermediate stage. We don't bring that back home. So maximum crew complement 3. Maybe Bill will get some XP here. Alright, we'll call this the Science King, as in Mackenzie King, Canadian Prime Minister. Mark 1. We'll probably do very major overhauls on later versions of this as we have to do more science experiments. Remember, this has no Science Junior on it, unfortunately, but hopefully the outpost experiments generate that much more science for us. Alright, Science King Mark 1. Everybody's in the Mark 1 command pod. Parachutes, we've got a heat shield, which will hopefully hold it together. This has so much Delta V, I think if the heat shield doesn't work, we can leave these guys in orbit and rescue them. So there's a couple stages we can leave this ship and rescue them. Alright, let me just double check this launch. Fairing, Terrier. And then when we decouple, we switch over to these guys. Okay. I think we're at a morning launch here. No. One thing, though, is if we do manage to land this thing on the moon, we'll have to set up a satellite network around the moon so it can communicate with mission control and relay its data. Are those flames purple? That seems very strong. Purple fire. Oh, I forgot to turn off the sticky keys. We'll see if that comes up today. Keep it steady. It's a good ship. Starting to cook up a little bit. Something a little more wider, because once again we're going to have to use some interior fuel to circularize this. I think it's mostly satellites are so light we can use the lower stage to circularize. Turn on the lights. The fairing's on, but once the fairing's off, we'll have all the lights revealed. How are things looking in the command pod, fellas? No visual, because there's a fairing. I think that's one of the escape hatches? That might be the tippy top hatch. Alright, there's the fairing gone. Alright. Get closer to that apoapse. I want to see just how much I can circularize. I mean, 700 delta V, but we are kind of low still. Try to keep it before, but still kind of close to the apoapse, so we get the most momentum, if I'm understanding this properly. We might actually be able to circularize without the terrier. It's going to be close. It's not going to happen. It's very close, though. Apoapse shot up again. Nope, it's okay. That's flame on, please. Let's try not to burn off too much fuel here. Okay, 1800. 8 and 3, and then even less to come back, so I think we're good. I think we got fuel to spare. Let's deploy those solar panels. We don't want to dry up on the long transfer. These lights are on, which serve no purpose until we start landing. Now those are on the same circuit. I turn those off all at once. Okay. Now we just gotta get to the moon. Ascending's actually a little off. One less thing I want to worry about, so let's fix that. Alright, let's see if I can get it right the first time. Is it normal on descending? It is. Perfect. Alright, now we just need to intercept it. .849.3, 860 for a flyby, that's about right. Because I think it assumes an 80-kilometer orbit, okay. Now I wonder if I could save fuel if I made my orbit higher. I don't think so. It's my moon periapsis, 100,000. I think we can pull that off. What's the flyby? It doesn't specify the flyby height. 8 hours? So hang on. I encounter the moon in 3 days and 4 hours, and then I escape in 4 days and 1 hour. So we have about 3 hours that were in its sphere of influence. It's a 5-minute burn, which is partially wrong because I haven't been burning at full speed recently, so it doesn't know what my engine power is, I think. Let's do one of these. Pretty much start burning right now because it's so long. Maybe not though, it might update. Oh, she's a little hard to control. No, it's not. I'm pointing at normal. Okay, and burn. Nope, it was accommodating my proper full speed. So we'll have about 1,000 to circularize. We only need 310, so 700 to help rendezvous with the lander and come back to Kerbal. Shame I can't speed up time. I think there's a mod that lets you speed up time when you're thrusting. Or it's a pilot thing, I don't know. But yeah, there's nothing to do for a 5-minute burn except kind of watch the nav ball. Suppose I could feed a little bonus thrust with the RCS. Oh, whoops, I put way too much monopropellant on this thing. Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. They're thrusting the right way. I think the command pod might have a reserve of monopropellant in it. We'll burn it right down. Well, not right down. We'll burn it down to 100 out of 150 monopropellant. So we'll use a third of our fuel to help us do the encounter here. Are those RCS helping? Not a lot, but they do add a little extra. It's just a long burn no matter what, so. But you can generate a couple meters of thrust with your RCS. They're all grabbing some sun. Poor Bob. Bob just doesn't do anything. Until we start, like, mining for fuel, Bob doesn't do anything. I mean, he fixes things, but I almost never break parts. Well, normally when I break apart, it's catastrophic failure, so. That's scientist talk for explosion. Then the node time was a little off, so I don't think this will be a perfect encounter. I might have to correct it a bit. Getting close to our target speed. Okay, 926 delta V left on this thing. Well, remember when we decouple the lander, that'll shoot back up. Alright, there's our Mun encounter, which, yeah, look, we overshot it, so let's kill our momentum a little bit here. We'll presumably have a Mun encounter in 3 days, which I'm not sure if we'll actually generate an apoapse or whatever. Let's just go there and see what happens. That looks like it's actually pretty great. Actually, we might be going so fast we might not have an apoapse or whatever. Yeah, I fucked that up, I think. Wow, what in the world? Oh, never mind. That's a contract. I was like, that's a beautiful orbit right there. I think we just missed it, so we ended up doing a bonus orbit. Just makes the mission take too long. Actually, maybe I wasted that fuel. Maybe I want to be able to prograde. Node's still 0, which I like. Where in the world is my fucking periapse when we do this? Maybe I escaped the wrong way. Maybe I encountered wrong. There we go. There's a Mun periapsis of 3,000. Incredibly fucking dangerous. It's, I think, 10. Well, I think 5 and we won't fall in, but we gotta worry about mountains and shit. Christ. Whoops. We can do very minor adjustments with the RCS, which is what I love about them. There. Assuming that wasn't stupid, we might actually need way too much fuel to save ourselves there, but we'll see. Off we go. Oh shit, it's still a double orbit no matter what. Son of a bitch. You know what? My periapsis is so brief, I might not have enough fuel. Well, enough thrust to pull this off. There's that beautiful satellite they wanted to put us in orbit for a contract. See if we can bring this down to like a 15 by 15. That'll be nice and easy for the lander to come back up to. It worked last time. Oh, my periapsis is in like 7 minutes. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's coming down. I'm not really a fan of that. Come on, bring it in. There she is. A little more RCS to help speed things up. We can just grow this back out. Hey, man. Yeah, bring this up to 15. And then we'll gain a lot of delta V once we decouple the lander, but turn that off. I want to retrograde. No, prograde. Come on. She's a little sluggish with the lander can attached. Maybe the command pod doesn't have as much torque as I thought it did. That'll do. And then we're here. $727. We're fine. It's the landing that concerns me. This thing should get back home no problem. We didn't solve our heat shield mystery, did we? Come on. God damn it, that takes forever to bring down. There she comes. I just got to be careful without the shield. I think if I do an aero brake, that might slow us down enough. Yeah, no crazy angle. So we have a terrible connection. 21% connection to get home. Can't really transmit any science in that state. There. 15 by mostly 15. Looking great. So we'll save this as a separate one in case I'm critically wrong. Science King, Mun Orbit. Alright, everybody, then we just pray I wasn't stealing fuel from this stage. Everybody out. Well, by which I mean Jebediah and Bob. All hatches are obstructed. Can't exit. Excuse me? We'll just transfer crew then. The solar panels are blocking. I think the docking port's blocking, which is weird because you should be able to hatch. Actually, you might be right. The solar panel might be obstructing it just enough. It's alright. Decouple. SAS is disengaged. We have 1600 Delta V now in this thing. More than enough to get back home. Probably even do some deorbit burns. It's got 200 ablator, but that's just the heat shield. So yeah, I think this command pod actually has no heat protection. It's full battery. It's got some monopropellant. Can you get out? That's the important question here. Yes, Justin was right. He was just, he'd clip his head on the solar panel, so for safety reasons it wouldn't let us. Alright, fellas. To the moon. Okay. Kill that surface speed. So we don't want to land in a crater, I think. Engines on. Somewhere around here. Let's try to land here. Except I'm looking at the wrong way, so we're going to land over here instead. Oh, Christ, we're going to be in the dark side. Which means our battery might die while we wait for us to spin around to the sun. There. Actually, how the fuck do you work this thing? I'm worried I might need a controller actually to lift the satellite arm. Neat. Activate this thing. There. All right. Turn all the lights. That'll help us look at our landing location, especially if we're flying onto the dark side here. Switch to... Oh yeah, look at that. Sea level for the moon, whatever it is, 12,000, but we're actually 7,000. Let's bring that surface velocity to like 100 meters per second. And then we'll try to keep it under 200. Let's extend the landing brakes. I don't know why I called them brakes. They're landing struts. It's because this is the brake button, I think. There goes Billy. Whatever his name is, we never use him. Coming in nice and slow, which I like. A lot of delta left. And these are relatively strong when we have some light, so we should see the ground come up pretty well. Not letting that go above 150 actually as we get lower here. Now it's just stability assist on the center here because we don't want to flip over as our retrograde prograde changes. I got a good feeling though, it doesn't look too hilly down there. Oh, there's a little monument of some sort of naturally occurring thing. We gotta stay under 15, ideally under 10. And we're down. Another successful moon landing. Save that shit. Alright, you hop out and plant a flag. Actually, you know what? You already hopped out. Bob can take it from here. Bobby. We'll plant the flag last, I think. Let's start off with a surface sample. Where are we? We're in the Midlands. That sucks. That thing looks kind of close. But I think we already tried to investigate like the purple crystals on Kerbal and nothing happened. You're fine. Looks like some sort of a crater we can investigate. Oof. Yeah, you gotta bring those guys down real gentle. The hell is this thing? Overright. Still in the Midlands. You start to say something dramatic and poignant about the plight of Kerbal kind in this grand universe, only to be cut off by random radio chatter that the situation is nominal. So I guess, yeah, we've already got a Midlands one, which is a shame. A little bit of surface sample. We'll have to come back with a scanner to discern the different biomes. But like I said, just a short one tonight. We're pretty much going to set this science outpost up and then call it here. I think we'll actually have to leave these guys here while we send up a remote-controlled satellite to get some control around the moon. So these guys are going to have to chill out for a few days. Open the doors, please. All redundant data, except for that, because the seismic scan is new now. You sensed a minor quake on the surface. Interesting. I should probably try to hide lights in this so it's illuminated. There we go. All right, then there's the RCS doubles as a little thing. Now, what is your inventory? Oh, fuck, you can only hold one. It's going to take a while to set this place up. Gonna have to set it up a little further away so we don't burn it as we come up. Oh, now its parachute's been replaced with whatever the hell he's carrying there. Probodobodyne Experiment Control Station. Space to place the part. It's J and L to rotate it. I'm not sure where I control it from. Maybe here? Off you go, whatever you are. Ooh. You're just sciencing up a storm, aren't you? We just got to make sure we do this properly. We're going to have a hell of a time landing back down here. Slight problem with retrieving the cargo. Okay. Weather analyzer. I'm sure there's weather here. Space wind and shit. There's probably not. There's the solar panel, so our experiments will have power. Looking good. Where's the sun? There it is. It's the communitron, so it can send its results back to mission control, but look at that. It's a little goo container, and then it connects to a Twitch stream of the goo. Cool. Science rate 45%. Oh shit. The solar panels and dish do... I have no faith in this, but this thing should... Uh-oh. No, this is a pivot. This'll do itself. How much power do you generate? You generate... 0. Unpowered. Yeah, it looks like these things can do nothing if I place them wrong. But you're looking at the sun. Maybe it just takes a while. Okay, you produce one. But these guys all want one. They require one. Require one. I think I maybe needed to bring up more solar power here. Well, we learned something. It takes a while? Okay. Ray has faith in the outpost. Alright, that's the full outpost, but I'm a little concerned about the power output now. Even if one will power most of it, we maybe route too much stuff for a single solar panel. And then you'll start testing the seismic activity here on the moon. It's your little science command center. I mean, not really. This should all remotely relay data back home. So you've got power. I'm a little concerned for the I'm a little concerned for the other guy because he doesn't have any solar panels on his part. Probably should have given him some just to keep the fucking lights on. But I think I left his SAS off, so he shouldn't be dead in the water when we find him. It is just producing the one, though. We might have fucked up the actual implementation of it, but we were able to build a science outpost, which was our goal. So mission accomplished in that regard. Now we just have to next time focus on bringing these guys home. Oh, sorry, we didn't plant our flag. He'll get some XP for planting a flag. Plant flag. Call this one Science Station Pepper. As in Dr. Pepper. Look at that. We did it. But so yeah, now we'll just see just how autonomous this station is. I think if I'm careful, we just might be able to bring a rover with us with more solar panels and land near this place, drive over, and set up more power for it. But we'll wait. We'll leave them down here for a few days just in case there's anything else we need to do. Everything gonna get blown away by takeoff? I don't think so, Justin. We can thrust up very low power on the moon. It's not actually the hatch. Actually, let's just make this the thumbnail. Let's get Jeb out here for a photo. I don't actually know how to hide the UI, but there you go. The mission was a complete success. Well, I guess not a complete success based on his face. Is it gonna have enough power? Alright, get in, homie. Call it a night. Or day, whatever time it is on the moon. Oof! He jumped right into the light. Oh, Science Station Pepper, right? I was like, what is this thing called Science Station Prepper? But the flag's called Science Station Pepper. Forgot my own flag name. Oops. Alright, so these guys are just going to chill out while we wait to see if anything happens from the science station, and then we might have to fix it, but specifically we have to get these guys home tomorrow. Midlands. I want to say stuff like these peaks are considered highlands. The moon's an interesting place for biomes. We can come back later with like a scanning satellite and scan all the biomes if we really want to milk more science. But I think really if we can just maybe put a satellite around Eve and then land on Duna. Well, landing on Duna is the end of the campaign as far as me streaming this game goes, but I think satellite transmits from Eve and Duna should be enough to finish the tech tree. But thanks for coming out to watch this little short one today, and we'll bring these guys home tomorrow. So until then.